Good day, Internet world. Let's discuss the transgender debates going on. There are too many facets of this topic, in my opinion, and this video would take pretty damn long. So I'm going to keep it to the bare bones, if you will, and maybe the heavy hitters, in my opinion, and go from there. I'm curious to see what the internet thinks. I know there's some rude, contentious people out there. So if you want to offer an opinion in a nice, civil manner, respectfully, I would definitely accept that. So let me know what you think on this. So I'm going to do my best to weigh as an independent reviewer, reactor, if you will, and weigh both sides of things like I try to do, but also offer facts and opinions. I'm not here to win anybody over, regardless if anybody watches this or not. It just feels good to convey this out there because there's just daily issues that I see popping up on the news or social media. So the biggest debate is, what is a woman? Trans women say a woman is a person that identifies as a woman. Okay. Others say a woman is a female adult, a biological female capable of having kids. Some women cannot, I get that, but they have the baby making parts in the genitalia on or within their body to potentially make children. Trans women often say that you can't tell me what a woman is because you are not one. You don't have the right to say what something is if you are not that person or that thing.
So you're saying if you're not a woman, then you shouldn't have an opinion?
Where does a guy get a right to say what a woman is? Women only know what women are.
Are you a cat?
No.
Can you tell me what a cat is?
That's his argument, which is actually a pretty good argument. But to say a man can't have an opinion on what a woman is, that's a little far-fetched. Now, a little question that goes across is, do you support transgender rights? I feel like that's pretty bad because you're including every right that they want. To me, it should be questioned, which rights do you support for transgender women or men? And if you don't support certain ones, why not? I think that's more of a fair question. Because maybe you ask somebody, hey, do you like all the colors in your crayon box? Well, no. Well, why not? You have to either like all of them or none of them. It doesn't work that way. I don't like the color brown, even though my skin's brown. But so being empathetic to how trans women are and trans men are, one can say you actually know how they feel. Bear with me. Oh, I don't know what it would be like to be a trans woman or a trans man. Okay, I'm a heterosexual male. How do I feel this? How do I know this? I can feel that I'm a man, biological man, and I feel that I'm a heterosexual. Is it right or wrong? I don't care. It's just how I feel. So you parlay that onto their side, transgender people, that's how they feel. Regardless of their, at 5 years old they realize it, or at 15 years old, or at 35. That's how they feel. So to say, oh, it's impossible to understand what they're coming from, maybe it's not, because that's how they are. That's the feeling they have inside. So I would ask people to understand that when it comes to transgender people identifying as the opposite biological gender they were born at. Now, the other issue on transgender rights is the ability for them to enter sports in the women's category across the board, middle school, junior high, college, professional. But for them to enter into a women's category bears the question of what advantage do you have? And I heard one argument from a trans woman saying, well, LeBron James has an unfair advantage. He beats, 95, 99% of the league. He's better than everybody else. LeBron James is a gifted athlete. Did he work on his craft, his skills? Of course. Did he work on his body, working out, cardio? Of course. But he was born to be roughly that stature, 6'9" at 250 pounds. But he doesn't have a biological advantage. And we know, and this is factual statements, that men on average have a biological advantage with bone density, muscle structure, quickness, strength, speed. On average, a man's going to have an unfair advantage, or an advantage, however you want to see it, over a biological woman. Let's do a hypothetical situation. Say you have a daughter who's fighting in the MMA. She's in an octagon, gets beat, gets hit in the head, falls down, has trouble getting up, staggering. She has to go to the hospital. Then you realize later on that she has a cracked skull. But then it was later brought to the attention that the person that cracked her skull was a biological man, a trans woman. To me, in my opinion, that's a man beating up a woman. Same thing with the NCAA college swim meet. A trans woman, biological man, enters and wins. But why do you have that advantage? Would you beat most of the men if you entered the men's competition? Probably not. Moreover, I rarely see, maybe I actually have never seen, a trans man biological women entering the men's category in sports. You always see the opposite. Why is that? Is it because they know they have a high probability of getting beat by a biological man? Maybe. Let me know why you think in the comments. Another hypothetical situation to put yourself in are restrooms and locker room inclusion. Trans women want to be able to enter a women's locker room or restroom. Put your hypothetical daughter in that situation. Would you want a biological man entering the restroom or locker room where your daughter is at, changing, using the restroom? Again, I support transgender people to be identifying as a woman or a man. I have no problem with that. Not that they even need my opinion, but I'm offering it anyway. But to say I fully support all rights to include sports and locker room and restrooms and things similar to that, no. Additionally, you see trans women, biological men, stating different milestones. Oh, this is week 6 as a woman. Month 9, good for them. They're celebrating. They did transition. It's a pretty big thing, especially if they come out to the world or to your parents. I can't imagine how hard that would be. So kudos to them. But they're also saying, oh, I'm getting cramps. I feel like I'm menstruating. I want to go buy my first set of tampons. Again, I'm no doctor, but I know how to read. And understand that women, only biological women have the potential to menstruate and have periods. Trans women, biological men cannot. There's no human way, no scientific way for them to do that. But yet they're portraying that as if they're actually going to have a period. If they want to fully engross themselves in being a woman, fine. But if they're making things up in their head of menstruating, in their stomach, oh, I feel cramps. Now, I have no idea what menstrual cramps feel like. One can only assume as a man. But I've eaten a lot of Taco Bell, so I can only imagine it's the same thing, right? Kidding, ladies, kidding. But if they're that, I want to be careful of my word, delusional, if you will, what other things are they formulating in their brain that's actually fictitious? Why do we have to acquiesce to everything you want to have rights to as a trans woman or trans man? Why do we have to acquiesce to things that you're formulating in your head that you know it's not true? You just want us to pretend it is. And then let's parlay that to children. Most recently, there's a worker at Disneyland. It's a biological man identifying as a woman with dresses on and everything, but has a mustache. You can tell it's a man. And there's a few people, I say uproar, if you will, but I know how the media likes to exaggerate, saying, oh, that shouldn't be allowed. There's some kids that can't tell the difference. There's some kids that are more mature or older and they can tell the difference. So are we simply filtering out who transgender people are to save our children? Or are we thinking, hey, maybe when you're older, explain to them fully what this is and let them come to their conclusion if it's right or wrong. Or there is no right or wrong. It's just how a person feels. And let them dictate how they want to do it. Because I think you are the best judgment when it comes to your child. But that's my opinion on it with the trans debate when it comes to trans rights. What is a woman? Sports inclusion, locker room and restroom inclusion, and experiencing different things in your head, if you will. Menstrual cramps, periods, etc. So let me know what you think. Again, respectful comments. Trying to be mean, internet world. But I really want to know what you think on this. And as I end this video, I feel like my next one needs to be about genders. Not transgender, but just gender as a whole. Male, female, non-binary. I heard there's tri-gender, which I'll have to Wikipedia that because I don't know what that means.